The dimensional war between medieval and modern is back at it again. This time, the medieval army has cornered the modern army at a bridge installation. The United Nations here has US Army soldiers, Korean soldiers, Russian ghillie suit snipers, UN soldiers, as well as North Vietnamese and Middle Eastern insurgent soldiers, and technology from all over the world currently defending this small bridge position from both sides. The medieval army is 6 million strong, with English soldiers, Holy Roman Empire soldiers, Mongolians, French army, Knights Templar, Saxons, and more charging on forward with swords, spears, crossbows. They've even got 50,000 catapults, the whole shebang. And they are trying to wipe out the modern invaders. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below what other battles you'd like to see. And please help me report these bots. I report them, I block them, and they keep coming back. It's a pandemic, I swear. All right, let's get into it, boys. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Okay, pressing start right now, and we will see how the modern defenders end up doing. This should be a pretty cool battle, I think. We've got modern US soldiers in the front here. We've got UN soldiers off to the side with FAMASs. We've got ourselves insurgents with AK-47s over here. Backing them up is HMG machine gun trucks. We've got South Korean heavy machine guns over here, Russian BTRs over here, and US-made M1 Abrams over this way. Behind all of them is Russian ghillie suit snipers. Further back here, we have Sea Whizzes, and of course we've got North Vietnamese, or sorry, just regular Vietnamese. I don't know why I always say North Vietnamese. Vietnamese soldiers back here with AK-47s, and behind them is the spearmen at arms for the English army charging on forward. Further over this way, I believe is the Knights Templar. Yes, Templar Knights are coming in over this way as well. These guys are the flankers on the bridge position, so a pretty important position for the modern armies to hold. But then, of course, we have the forward positions here, also very crucial to hold, and probably going to be a little bit harder to hold because it's not in a choke point formation. Over here, we've got English men-at-arms over this way with swords. Back here, we've got French crossbowmen. We've got catapults coming in over here. Then over this way, I believe, are the Saxons. Yes, the Saxons, the barbarians coming in, along with some more English troopers. Yep, there they are, baby. Let's go! And then further over this way, I believe we've got Mongolian soldiers coming in too. No, these are going to be the Celts. The Celtic warriors are coming in over here. But then there should be Mongolians. Yes, here are the Mongolians coming in too. Let's go! And it looks like actually the Celts and the Mongolians are coming in the flank and starting to chop away at some of the insurgent soldiers on the far flank. This is going to be one of the more dangerous parts of the battlefield because this flank will open up the rest of the modern army to get eaten away at by these soldiers. That could be very, very problematic going forward, that's for sure. But these guys are coming on in here. By the way, I keep getting people asking why I always screw up the numbers at the top right, and what I'll tell you is that my recording software overlay is at 50% opacity, and so I can barely see through the overlay of the recording software, and therefore it's very, very hard for me to read those numbers because they're semi-covered up by the overlay. So just for all you curious fellas out there, last time I royally screwed up the numbers, but this time we should have 5.3 million medieval soldiers still left alive versus 51,000 modern soldiers still left alive here. It looks like the other flank over here is also under serious threat. The FAMAS-wielding UN soldiers, and I know they're SWAT team soldiers, but they've got the UN blue-style uniforms, so we like to call them the UN soldiers. They are getting hit hard by Saxons over this way, who are coming in with their shields. Oh, if you could change your life, would you do it? I can't do that accent at all, bro. How's the bridge holding up, though? The bridge is something I'm very curious about. It looks like a few soldiers have somewhat made it across the bridge, but they got kind of murdered halfway across. So they're not doing too hot right now. The Sea Whizzes are taking care of them pretty wholeheartedly right there. And then, of course, we've got the snipers over this way, which I think are firing in every direction. Some are firing backwards, some to the right, some to the left, some straight ahead. 360-degree fire, baby! And then we've got the Russian BTRs over here, the South Korean machine guns right here, which are firing away like crazy. And then, of course, the modern U.S. soldiers right here, who are doing great. I mean, these guys aren't even getting connected with by the men-at-arms from the English soldiers over this way. So they're holding on perfectly fine at the moment. Meanwhile, the flanks, though, are definitely in some trouble. That's where we are losing troops for the modern army, and that is where 4,500 of our troops for the modern army are currently dead. Meanwhile, we do have 800,000 dead medieval units, though, so clearly, you know, despite them taking losses here and there on the flanks, the modern units are still managing to mow down the enemies at an incredible rate. Now, I'm curious about the catapults. They're not really reaching the front lines just yet, but these things are fragile, man. Yeah, they've only got 500 health. I really think they need a buff in the game, but there's 50,000 of them on the battlefield, so hopefully a few of them can get close enough to actually launch their rocks, but it doesn't really seem like it. A few of them are very close, and then they get shot by like a sporadic M1 Abrams fire or like BTR fire or something like that, and it pretty much negates the progress they're making. Of course, we have a whole field of them back here coming forward. I'm hoping that a few of them get forward enough to actually get some shots off, because that would be very, very helpful. We've actually got a pretty big push right here. This is a good area where the insurgents are just about to be hit by some incoming British soldiers. They could very well take some losses here, but so far they are still holding them back pretty good. Look at this over here. The Celtic Warriors coming through and getting kills. Beautiful. Should I say Celtic or Celtic? Probably Celtic. The actual way to pronounce it. But they're also going in on these HMGs over here, which we've never actually used these guys before. They're kind of cool. They've got 10k health, which is pretty low for a vehicle, and it doesn't look like they do crazy, crazy damage. I'm trying one out right now. Yeah, all this firing has gotten us 1 kill. Let's bag it up, Tear. Bag it up. It don't go back, Tear. It don't go back. Okay. Well, those things are probably going to help a little bit, but definitely not the best vehicle. Like, for comparison, the BTRs over here have 20k health, which is a little bit more standard, and they do a lot more damage. Look at that. And then the M1 Abrams over here also have 20k health. Definitely a bit of a difference. Can I fire this? I can't tell if it's firing or not. They fire, but, you know, whatever. And then the Sea Whiz is back here, man. These only have 500 health, but they have the most incredible firepower ever. So baller to see those things going off, brother. So baller. All right, well, the modern army certainly is surrounded big time here. They're taking losses on the flanks. We just have to hope that the middle can hold out a little bit more steadfast here. 8,500 dead modern soldiers, 1.4 million dead medieval soldiers currently. Let's go do our first time lapse, and we're gonna do overhead time lapse because that's always pretty fun to watch. So let's cook, baby. This is a fast-moving battle, because that was only about 3 minutes right there, and we're up to 2 million dead medieval soldiers and 12,600 dead modern soldiers. Now, we're at the point where the M1 Abrams are now starting to get directly attacked by the Saxons over here, which means they will start going down, but they do have really pretty good armor, so it will take a bit for them to go down. We've also still got UN soldiers over here getting attacked by Saxons as well, so yeah, this left flank is going poorly. How are the insurgents doing? Insurgents have kind of a similar story with the Celtic warriors coming in and getting some serious kills on these boys too. So not a good look at the moment. The HMGs are somehow still alive, man. That's kind of crazy. Are the catapults reaching the front at all? Not really. Oh, a few are lobbing some shells. Wait, that's the range. That's the range, apparently. Oh, yeah. Look over here. A few modern soldiers are getting hit. And also, we've got the arrows from the French soldiers coming in now, too. Okay, yeah, there are catapult shells coming in. Shells, as if it's artillery. Catapult rocks, boulders, whatever you want to call them, coming in, which is good to see because that will dwindle the modern lines here. I gotta say, the modern almost always wins. I am kind of rooting for the medieval this time around. So we've got 38,000 modern soldiers left alive, 3.4 million medieval soldiers left alive at this point. Ghillie suit snipers are completely fine. It looks like the Korean guns here did end up going down to arrow fire or something like that. So those are down. The Sea Whizzes back here are still doing fine. The bridge over here still completely intact as well, which means the Vietnamese soldiers are also pretty much completely fine. So those are big things to have still alive till the bitter end. But of course, the flanks are falling pretty heartily over here and over here, which is dangerous. Sea Whizzes actually start to turn their attention over this way towards the Celtic soldiers and Mongolians, although I haven't really seen too many Mongolians over here as of late, so... Oh no, here they are. Okay, they're just like a little farther to the left, mix in with some British boys. So these guys are going to be coming in as well, but those Sea Whizzes pointing towards them is kind of a bad sign for them. There's actually a few... Oh, won't let me go down. There we go. Catapults over here, too. Interesting. Well, those will go down to Sea Whiz fire very, very easily. I will say, there's even a few making it over to the Vietnamese side. Wow, look at that. Well, that just disappeared into the rock side. It didn't even do any damage, so I'm not totally sure what the deal is with that. But very interesting nonetheless. All right, let's watch the corner here of the modern soldiers fighting against the hordes close up this time. I think this will be pretty baller to watch. Okay, modern soldiers are up to 3 milli kills, which is good, but the arrow fire has certainly knocked them down a bit, and those catapults finally coming into range is devastating. So the insurgents over here are all dead. Modern soldiers are dying. There's a few UN soldiers still alive, and the Abrams somehow are still alive. They actually defeated most of the Saxons over here. Wait, what are these guys doing? Oh, these are all arrow-wielding Frenchmen. But these guys have really insane body armor, so I don't think the arrows will pierce them that bad. A few of them are pretty bloodied from the Saxons, but overall the Abrams still seem to be doing well. And I believe, yeah, the BTRs are also doing pretty well still. Ghillie suit snipers up top, still sniping away. And the Sea Whizzes over here are doing okay. The Vietnamese soldiers now, though, are getting directly attacked by Mongolians and Celtic soldiers over here. And it looks like they got messed up a little bit from catapults. And yeah, there's still a few catapults coming in this way, too. So they might get further messed up. But they've still got the bridge on lock. They're still not losing the bridge in the slightest. Knights Templar are trying to absolutely charge them, but they're getting kind of wrecked by just still constant Sea Whiz fire and stuff like that. Taking them down, AK-47 fire, all that good stuff. So actually, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of French crossbowmen over this way, but again, these things aren't really susceptible to crossbow fire too bad. I'm not super worried about them. Still some UN soldiers holding out over here. It's not over for the modern units. They've still got 20,000 soldiers, and the medieval units have about 2.3 million. So kill ratio-wise, both are sort of killing the same percentage of each other's troops at a time. But I will say some of the better units for the modern army has died out now, and so it might get a little bit tougher from here on out for them to continue to get the W, especially with the catapults over here. And it looks like the Ghillie suit snipers are starting to now get hit by pretty intense catapult fire. They only have 300 health, so I think a catapult can one-shot kill them, which is not super good, especially because these are like really pretty good units too to have on the battlefield. So that might end up being pretty devastating. It might come down to the Vietnamese soldiers over here holding the bridge. That might be what we're looking at towards the end here, but let's go ahead and do another time lapse because we still got quite a bit of battle left in this thing. 3.6 million just about medieval units dead and 31,800 modern units dead. Crazy battle so far. Modern soldiers are down to less than 10k soldiers now, and most of it is the Vietnamese over here. It looks like some of this Abram is it dead? No, these Abrams are still alive. Abrams are still actually chilling. Nice. Okay, so Abrams being alive is good. We've still got a good number of ghillie suit snipers over here too, but they're currently like getting absolutely destroyed by the French who are coming into them here. Yeah, that's not good. And then the Vietnamese behind will get crushed by them as well. Oh, this might be a fortification that ends up falling. But they came so close to greatness. They're almost at 4 million kills, which is pretty special. That's a pretty outstanding defense. 4 million souls lost compared to what, like 50 or 60,000. That's a very good ratio. But yeah, now the catapults are really getting in there, and look at these Vietnamese soldiers just bouncing around. They're just getting trampolined up and down. Oh god, that sucks. Oh no. And now the catapults are also spamming the Abrams, which are getting killed. So yeah, these don't have much longer on the battlefield either. The bridge is falling. I repeat, the bridge is finally falling. The Knights Templar, after all their hard work, finally get to come through and kill their foes that they've been working on and created this massive body pile of soldiers over here over the last 30 minutes. Oh my god. And now these Vietnamese soldiers over this way are getting cut down by Mongolians and Celtic warriors too. Oh yeah, this is the apocalyptic event that sort of ends the battle here, I think. They're getting crushed. I think the big thing was the flanks getting swept. Really obviously hurt the modern defense. And then on top of that, once those Korean turrets that were like over here somewhere, once those Korean turrets ended up going down, I think they were the main thing. Oh, they're over here. They were the main thing that were stopping the catapults from coming forward. And then the catapults were able to come forward with those Korean turrets being down, and it resulted in the death of everyone else. So we've got a few Vietnamese soldiers left alive over here. Let's watch them slowly die here. There we go. Medieval units finally get the W. This is like their first W against the modern units, I think. Or close to it. There's only... It's really hard to read. I think it's 1.89 million medieval units left alive. Obviously, 0 modern units left alive. 3.9 million medieval units killed. 46,000 modern units killed. Probably more than that because of splash damage and stuff like that. But... an absolutely crazy battle here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. I'll see you on the next one. Peace! I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.